Ew, why am I sitting like an ape? Hey, what's up you guys? It's Cha-Cha. So, for those of you who don't follow me on TikTok, if you don't follow me on TikTok, these are my socials, but that's my TikTok. I've been posting a lot more videos about like Harry Potter and shifting and all this stuff like that. Mind you, my TikTok is not a shifting account. Since I've been shifting, I had all these like crazy stories from stuff that I was like experiencing in my DR, and I was like, I really wanted to share it with everybody, and I really wanted to share it with everybody, and you guys all really liked those videos, and you guys wanted to know how I did it, like what I do, and everything like that. And I thought the easiest way for me to talk about like how I shift and what I do and what method I use and all this stuff like that would be in a video, because in a YouTube video I can, explain in depth versus a comment. It's a limited amount. So anyways, let's get started. Okay, so first things first for shifting is don't believe everything that you see on TikTok. The only reason I got introduced into shifting was because of TikTok, as a lot of people have been, and I saw all these like shifting accounts, and I saw all these stories and all this stuff like that, and I was like, I really want to try that, but there was like a good couple of weeks where I was testing out or attempting to be prepared to do all like the 10 steps that all these TikTok accounts were telling me I had to do. You don't have to do like 10 steps, like you don't have to stay perfectly still or it won't work. Like, just like weird stuff like that. It's not as complicated as it sounds. So don't believe everything you see on TikTok. That is the first thing. The second thing is not a requirement in any way. You don't need this in order to shift. I just find that it makes it easier for me personally. So having a specific like notebook or journal or whatever you want to write down stuff specifically, for your DR or about your DR or shifting or whatever. But this is just mine. My mom got me this. She's so sweet. And I find that it's easier for me to color code like each person. So like I use silver and black for Draco. I use purple for me because it's my favorite color. I use blue for Harry because he likes blue. And like Fred, George, and Ron are all like reds and oranges because like they're Weasleys. So just stuff like that. So I just have my chart explaining like how I set up my personal notebook. You don't have to do this again. Just prefacing, this is just how I have mine set up. So if you want to set yours up the way I have mine set up, go ahead. If you don't want to, or even don't want to make a notebook, again. Also, let me preface this. You don't have to have a notebook. You don't have to have a journal. It doesn't have to be set up like mine. It doesn't have to be set up in any particular way. The only reason you have a script is so that way it's easy for you to like read and like memorize the information that you wrote down, in a sense. Because before bed, like before I shift, instead of having to like run through everything in my brain on its own, I can just sit and read my script a few times through, because my script is about 2.5 pages. It's just easier, like when I scroll through when I flip through my journal, these 2 pages right here are my script. Well, 2.5, because this is also part of my script. For those of you who are not sure what a script is, I'm gonna give like the easiest explanation of what a script is. It's basically just like a layout or like a plan of what you want in your DR type of things. Like if you have specific like details or specific little things that you want to change, or if you have like moments or scenes that you want like to play out, or like etc., minor details that you want to fix and change, stuff like that, write it down in your script. Like my script is organized. The first page is all stuff that has to do with just me for the script, for my DR. This is all about only me. Meaning I wrote like, I'm a student at Hogwarts. I look the same way I do now. My name is Cha-Cha. I know every spell. I'm a Parseltongue, stuff like that. So yeah, the way I have my script set up is the first little page of my script has nothing to do with anything else other than me. So it's stuff about like, who my best friend is, who like my, like who I'm dating, who likes me, who I like, what I can and can't do, like just stuff like that, how much money I have, what kind of wand I have, stuff like that. And then the second page is stuff that I scripted about just Draco and I. I wrote like how he acts, how we met, what we do, stuff like that. I scripted in that he finds Astoria and Pansy disgusting, so I have no competition. And then the last page of my script is just kind of stuff about other people. So yeah, that's the stuff about my script. Coming to this page, you start to get into my stories. So I just put the date from when I shifted in this world. So like this first story I wrote was when I shifted on January 9th. Like this was what I wrote down about the Ravenclaw party. This is another story. Like these are just, I write down stories and stuff like that. These are some of my favorite quotes from things Draco has said in my DR. I also drew him, don't judge me. But yeah, I just use this to write down things that I don't want to forget about my DR. And then on the last page, I sketched out kind of like a rough sketch of what my dorm looks like. And then just kind of like a rough description of what my dorm looks like. So that way I have like kind of a picture to show people when they ask me what my dorm looks like. Also, this drawing is horrible, but it's literally just an outline. Like down here, I put a chart. So that way you know like what I marked, I labeled everything. So yeah, that's the second thing would be, I say it's much easier to have a notebook or a designated place to write down things about your script, your DR, memories, whatever. Again, you don't have to, I just find it makes it easier. So number 3, which is how do you actually shift once you know, have your script or like have where you want to go in mind. For about a week straight, every night, I was practicing doing the method that I'm about to explain to you. So the fourth, third? Oh my god, my dyscalculia. So thing number 3 is that the method. Basically, the goal is you want your entire body to be completely asleep. Like you want your body to be so relaxed that if someone came into your room, they could pick up your arm and it would just like, you know, completely be dead weight. So keeping your body still, not the hard part, it's your brain. The entire time that your eyes are closed and your like body's not moving and you're staying still and you need to lay there and think about nothing but your like script or your DR or where you want to go or what you want to do. You know, motivating yourself by also saying like, I will shift tonight, I'm gonna shift, like I'm going to shift, like I'm gonna stay awake and I'm gonna shift. Stuff like that, just stuff to keep your brain active while also only being focused on shifting and where you want to shift to. I'll read through my script a couple of times, like before bed. I typically will read it about 5 times just so that way it's almost like it's playing on a loop in my head, you know. And then I'll lay down and get into a position that I know I'm gonna be really comfortable in. And before I lay down to like completely relax, I also will play the Harry Potter soundtrack on like Spotify or YouTube, and I'll just play it on a loop while my phone's charging, so that way, you know, in the background as I'm relaxing, all I hear is Harry Potter music. I put that on, I read my script about 5 or 6 times, I put it under my pillow or next to my pillow, get comfortable, and then I don't move. Like I take a couple of deep breaths and just relax, and then close your eyes. The part that was hardest, and this was the reason it took me about a week to practice shifting, was because of this part. Every time I did this part, I would just fall asleep. I wouldn't, you know, shift over because laying there for a long period of time, listening to relaxing music with my eyes closed was just making me tired. So I would just fall asleep. And you know, if you like twitch a finger or like adjust a little bit, or if your nose itches and you scratch it, or like if you move your hair, it's not gonna mess you up. Like you're not gonna,
oh, I'm never gonna be able to shift because I moved my finger.
Not true. But it is better for you to stay still, only for the fact of it's easier for you to put all your focus on your brain. The reason I was having a hard time with this the first few times I did it, I would say the first 4 or 5 times I did it, I would get to the point where my body was completely relaxed while my brain was still completely active, but then I would get distracted thinking about the DR, and I would start thinking about a million things, and then I would just fall asleep. You know, I practiced for a week before only because I wanted to practice being able to put my attention on nothing but thinking about, you know, shifting in my DR and like, you know, Draco, Harry, all of them and stuff like that. To give you a quick like rundown, don't believe everything you see on TikTok. Secondly is, again, you don't have to, but it is easier for you to have a script and have someplace for you to write down things pertaining to your script. The third thing is the method, which is keeping your body completely asleep while your brain is completely awake. But for me, this combination of things is the only thing that helped me shift, is having my script written down and in front of me to read, listening to the music while I fall asleep, so that way I have not only one reminder fresh on my brain of where I'm going and like what's going to be happening there type of thing, but I also have music that is kind of almost making me feel motivated in a way, like, yeah, I'm about to like be over there in like Hogwarts and shit. I don't know if I could explain this any better because my method is so fucking simple. It sounds complicated and simple all at the same time. I'm fully aware of that because when I first heard it, I was like,
Huh?
but then like, you know, over time, a couple of times of like hearing it and understanding it and trying it and practicing it is the only thing that is gonna make you like truly like understand. But alright, you guys, so that's it for this YouTube video. If you guys have any more questions or if there's anything that I left out, feel more than free to comment down below or to like DM me on Instagram, whatever you know, floats your boat. If you guys want to see more videos like this, hit the thumbs up button so I know, or like comment down below and tell me. If you guys want to see any story times about, you know, adventures that I've had while shifting, or if you guys want to see my shifting notebook in detail, or if you guys want to see anything, just ask. I will do it, or I'll attempt to do it. We'll see. I'm gonna have all my socials right here, or on this side. I haven't decided which side I'm gonna put them on yet, so they're somewhere on the screen right now. If you guys want to see my videos that I make on TikTok about, you know, shifting and like kind of almost like story times in a way, go follow my TikTok, or I sometimes post them on my Instagram as well. I also post other content aside from just shifting stuff, so yeah. There's like a stain on the door and I can't tell. It looks like pasta.